Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you for joining me today for another card making video. Today we're featuring Beary Cute. This is one of the stamp sets in the current Stampin' Up mini catalogue. So this one I have purchased sort of later on. Didn't go for it initially. Sort of cutesy things aren't generally my thing. There is a coordinating punch, so I didn't do the punch. I figured if I needed to use the bears I could just fussy cut those out, so I just got the stamp set because I wanted something with Christmas trees in, and there is another set in the catalogue that has a Christmas tree, but I wasn't that fond of that one either, so I've gone with this one, and then if I do the bears then so be it, kind of thing. But really, primarily, I've got this for the sentiments and the tree, and I really like the little packages and the snowflake and stuff as well. So, I will end up, you know, using various elements of this. There's some really cute designer series paper if you're into paper as well. The punch coordinates with it, most definitely. I don't know whether there are anything else. No, there aren't any dies in this. It's just a punch. Yeah, that's right. So there's some bears that will punch out. And then there's loads of like Christmas presents and things on there that you can cut out and do things with. So we're using this today. Okay, right, let's put that to one side. I've got loads and loads and loads of stuff on my desk to make this card. So this is what we're aiming for today. This is how it started out though, and there was lots of things I didn't like about it. And a bit fussy in the background and all that kind of stuff. So take two was doing this one, which I much preferred, a bit cleaner and a bit more simple. So less snowflakes in the background, and instead of one colour of tree, so this was just garden green. I've actually used various colours of the inks there to do the tree. Okay. And I've gone with rainbow colours for the gifts. Okay, so there is all of the colours there, so red, orange, yellow, green, blue and purple. Okay, so whatever your interpretation of the rainbow is, I've gone with that. Everyone has different interpretations, so we're going to sort of do something more along these lines, but I'm mixing it up again. Okay, and we've done loads of stuff ahead of time, so just to minimise the bits and pieces, because there's going to be lots of fussy cutting to do. Still got a plain white card base there, so we'll just pop that to one side. And I've already cut some panels, so I'm really enjoying using the 3 by 5.5, or 3, is it 3.5 by 5 1/4? Yeah. Let me just check that. Yeah, so 3.5 by 5 1/4. I'm liking this, and then I've just got another layer there to put behind it. But I'm going to use my little cheat trick to colour that by well, saving some cardstock basically, because I want to have a shaded spruce layer, but I don't want to cut into a whole sheet of my shaded spruce, so I'm just going to go around the edge of this piece of cardstock with a blends marker, just to give us the impression that we've got a full sheet of shaded spruce behind there. Okay, the other thing you can do is punch stuff out of the middle of this and no one will ever know. Shared a few tips like that on my videos recently, because you know we're all trying to make the most of our products. You know, our money is being stretched somewhat by everything these days, but I would still like everyone to be able to enjoy crafting and make the most of the supplies that they can get. So there we go. So we've got a sort of faux shaded spruce layer there. So I only went round it once, So it's not a deep dark colour, but you can go over it a couple of times and even go around the edge on the back, and then you'll get a really nice saturation of ink through that card, and it will look really, really lovely. Okay, so this one I did Pretty Peacock. This one I'm doing Shaded Spruce, just so that I'm not introducing yet another colour really to the mix. Okay, so that's on standby for a little bit of and I'm not going to add the snowflakes this time either. I'm going to keep it a bit cleaner and a bit more simple. Okay, so I'm going to pop that to one side for a second. Bits I've done ahead of time are colouring some Christmas trees. Okay, so again on the sample we've just used the stamps as they are. The outline, there's an outline image and a little sort of fill-in thing, but it doesn't fill the whole image. It just gives you that impression. But what I've done is I've stamped the outline and then I've gone and coloured them in. So we've got a pretty peacock version. We've got Lost Lagoon here, and I'm going to do a shaded spruce one as well. So I've already stamped the outline image with the shaded spruce, and then we're going to add in this funky infill thing. Doesn't fit perfectly, just hover over it, aim for the middle somewhere and go for it, and it'll be absolutely fine. And we're colouring over it anyway. Just bear with me a sec, I've got my stamp cleaning bits and bobs ready, so I'll just doing that because that's what I like to do. So we'll pop away that ink pad just for a second. We'll want that for the sentiment as well when we come to that. And then from a colouring point of view, I'm going to bring back the blends. We're going to go around the edges, well, sort of the left side if you like. So I'm going to go down the left hand side of this and sort of go over where that line kind of in the stamp has come through. This one's actually come out quite dark compared to the other one. I think maybe it's just a juicier ink pad kind of thing. So we've got that there. And I know for a fact that the light marker is quite light in comparison. So some of the Stampin' Blends, the darkened light markers are quite close together. But for this particular one, there is quite a difference. And I am going to cut around this, and I will be leaving a border. So I don't really want to be venturing outside the lines too much. Okay, I'm going to go over that a little bit more just to make that just a little bit darker. So the layers, the colour will layer. So if you go over it, it will get a little darker, a little bit more intense. If you do stray out the lines, you can use your colour lifter to help you sort of push the ink back in. We don't need those anymore, I don't think. Okay, so on this one, the colour has really, the stamp portion has really kind of stood out, whereas with the other trees it kind of blended in quite nicely. So I just had a bit more of this dark marker and go over that just a little bit more. Okay, so obviously I didn't do one of these in advance, so I wasn't sure how this would turn out, so we'll just go over it again. It's absolutely bucketing it down again outside, so if you can hear that coming through, that's what it is, if you can hear a little hum there. Okay, so we've coloured that tree in, and we're going to take our paper snips and we are going to fussy cut this out. So now this might look a bit weird because I'm a lefty, but I'm going to start down the bottom here, which is what I found was the easiest and kind of wibble along this edge, leaving a small white border. And I'm trying to twizzle the paper rather than twizzle the blade of my scissors. Okay. And then you're slowly squeezing your scissors closed as you twist your paper around. Okay, so I hope that's translating okay on the video. I'm trying to do it sort of slowly so you can see. Okay. So your wrist moves a little bit, but not as much as the paper. So this is going to go all the way around now, as I gently squeeze the blade, but I've kept the blades more or less in the same sort of direction. Okay. Going to be much easier on your wrists. Okay. So that's that done. Okay. We're going to be doing a bit more fussy cutting. Okay, and then the other thing we're adding to this is some Wink of Stella. Okay, which just gives them that lovely frosty sort of look. You can do that before you cut it out if you like. Do you find though, if you sort of handle this a lot, you will get a little bit of glitter coming off onto your fingers. It's not like loose glitter where you're going to end up finding it everywhere for days or anything, but you know, not everyone likes that, so I'm just going to do that now. So it's done, and then that can dry completely while we do some other bits and pieces. The other thing I've got in front of me is a piece of vellum. So this sort of what's that? Translucent, I think is the word that we want for that. Right, so this has been cut. So just it's just short of well, it's about 2 1/4, right? Okay, but it's been cut so it will fit inside this modern oval punch. Okay, so what I want to be able to do is cut a nice sort of rounded edge onto this, but I need it to be able to slot into the punch in a bit of a funny way. Okay, so if we were to pop this, let's open the punch up, shall we? That helps even more if we open the punch. If we were to slot the vellum into the punch, we would obviously just get the shape cut out. She says, struggling to get it in. It's just because the vellum just sort of bends a little bit, that's all. So, and it catches on the inside. Okay, so, but we don't want that. We don't want this edge to cut. We just want the top to punch. So the way we can do that is by slotting the paper in through the aperture of the punch. And you'll be able to see that hopefully there's a gap. So let me get my pokey tool. So just there we can see daylight, and that's where the mechanism is going to crunch the paper together. Okay, alright, so we want to be able to slot the vellum in through the punch from the front here. So just make sure that if you get the 2 corners to do it, the rest should follow, hopefully. It might bend a little bit, but that's fine. Okay, but it needs to be obviously the width of that punch. There we go, so I've got it through now. It's only going to go back so far because of the mechanism and everything, right? Okay, but basically I just want that far enough in so that it's going to just chop the top of that off, and I'm going to squeeze that down, and then I've got this rounded edge. Okay, so you could equally use, if you've still got the Very Best Trio. Now there's a piece of vellum in there somewhere that needs to come out. There we are. Okay, if you've still got the Very Best Trio, you could just do a corner rounder punch, or if you've got any other corner rounders, you could just do that. But I just wanted to demonstrate that you can do that. This sort of technique works with all manner of punches. If you can slot your cardstock or vellum or whatever you're punching in, you can actually extend the length of the punch. So equally you can do it the other way. So if you wanted an elongated oval, you could cut your strip to the width or just short of it, punch one end and then punch the other end, and you'd get an elongated oval. Okay, so anything that's got like a sort of regular sort of shape to it, you can do that with. Okay, so that's going to be our little backdrop piece there, just to add a bit of something to the background. Could do a bit of stamping on that, or a bit of add a bit of colour with a blend or something like that if you wanted to as well. So the other thing we need is our lovely little gift packages. So I've done some of these ahead of time because we're going to be doing absolutely loads of them. So obviously there is 7 there, because I opted to add a pink one as well. So I've already done all the stamping of the outlines, and I've coloured 5 of them. So I've left a couple to do. Okay, and I've got an absolute ton of blends on my desk here, which hopefully you can sort of see now. Okay, so I used, I think it's Sweet Sorbet, oh no, Poppy Parade, Pumpkin Pie, Lemon Lolly, Lemon Lime Twist, and Azure Afternoon. Okay, and then I've also got, I'm going to be doing the purple with Highland Heather, because that's the colours we've got. And then I need, that's stamped in Berry Burst. I think we might go with Bubble Bath actually. So what I've actually done is, those are the colours of the markers, but the stamping has been done in a darker shade. Okay, oh, I forgot I zoomed in. Right, so the stamping has been done in Cherry Cobbler, Cajun Craze, Wild Wheat, Granny Apple Green, Night of Navy and Berry Burst. So a sort of deeper shade so that we retain the outline even after we have done all the colouring. So I'm just going to pop those to one side. Okay, so it was Granny Apple Green on the outside and then Lemon Lime Twist to colour it in, so you get that nice sort of shade. So actually the purple's not there, is it? That must have been Gorgeous Grape. I beg your pardon, hadn't pulled that one out. So we want our shadow to be dropped in, which I'm doing to the left and along the bottom, and I'm keeping that consistent. That's the way I coloured the trees as well, with the darker colour coming in from the left. Don't suppose it matters too much, but I just wanted to keep it consistent. And then I'm going to come in and blend that out with that light marker and go into that corner. So you just want to make sure you're going over that line there, making those inks work together, and you get this lovely shaded presence. Okay, so that's Gorgeous Grape. And then we'll do exactly the same with Lemon Lolly, Bubble Bath. I think I said Lemon Lolly because it's one of the new colours that came in. Okay. It's not even yellow. So this isn't super difficult colouring. Sometimes, like with this one, now I feel like the dark and the light have come out quite similar in the blending process, so you may want to just add a bit more into there. And sometimes you find that the bullet tip comes out a little darker as well, so that's also worth a try if you want to as well. Okay, so that's looking a bit better now that I've added a bit more of the dark in, and you've definitely got a sort of gradient coming across there. Okay, so loads of colouring, but not difficult colouring. And like I say, I've opted to do these in all these lovely rainbow colours. Okay, and then we are going to have to fussy cut all these out. Okay, so just another note, I've actually opted to do these on thick basic white, just to give them a bit of sturdiness. What I'm doing here is I'm just going to go along the bottom of all of these, leaving my little border. So it's a bit of a time saving trick for you. Okay, and now I'm going to cut that off, but I may as well cut it off where I need it to be cut off, which is along the side of that present. Okay, so at least now my bottom edge is all done. And now I'm going to actually go through and actually cut one of my other edges now. On the so this is on the right hand side of each of those presents. Now I'm finding that easier because I don't know whether it's just because I'm left-handed or whatever, but I find that this is the easiest way for me to get this done. Okay, and now I'm going to go the other way, turn it round the other way, and I'm going to sort of separate those off from the rest of the paper by cutting along the other side, and then we'll do the fussy bit, if you like. So it can be a little bit fiddly, and you might find that you want to, if it gets in your way, then just cut it off, obviously. So I've made that one look difficult. Okay, but I like to be able to see the line, you see. So for me, like I say, I think it's because I'm a lefty, I find it easier to do it like this. Okay, so I'm just going to actually hold on to that and then snip down that. But you know, our 3 straight sides are pretty much done. It's just the little fussy bit on the top we've got to worry about now. Okay. Okay. So now we're down to this one. So I'll just cut off this excess on this right hand side, like so. And then it's a case of just whizzing round the top here. So again, it's going to be a little bit of twizzly stuff. They're really small, so I find it easier to sort of pinch them from underneath like that, rather than hold it like in your hand like that, and just twizzle it around. And you know what? If you're not following the line exactly, I don't think anyone is ever going to notice, right? You just want to get those roughly cut out. Okay, so they've got some shape to them. So I'm going to carry on doing that. I'll do it all on, I'll speed it up, and I'll be back when they're all done. Okay, those are all done. So the next thing is I'm just going to get out some mini dimensionals, and I'm going to pop one at the bottom of each of these. Okay, which is going to obviously give them the dimension that we want, but it's also going to mean that we can overlap the top over the trees, and there's a bit of room for them to overlap each other as well, side to side. Okay, so in fact I'm going to go ahead and get all those backings off as well. We'll just leave them to one side over here, ready to go on. So lots of bits and pieces on this one. This might be one that isn't one that you're going to be mass producing. I wouldn't have thought, unless you like to just sort of sit in front of the telly and, like, you know, do a whole heap of fussy cutting and whatever. So I've opted for not putting the snowflakes on. So I think what I'm actually going to do is put this layer onto the front now, because I'm not really adding any more. There will be the stamped sentiment, but it's going to be flat on the card, so it's not going to be difficult to fit that in. Just eyeballing that because it's a bigger border than usual, so just making sure the top and bottom at least look straight. And I think that kind of, you know, if you get the horizons right, it will look straight. Okay, and then we want to pop our vellum on the back. So like I say, you could have done a bit of stamping or colouring on that if you wanted to, and you might also think that it might be a bit long, so it's up to you now to decide whether you want any of this to move around. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking I want to frame this up quite nicely, so just a case of where we want the dark and light trees to be, and I'm thinking maybe this way around, no, that way around. Not sure I like this shaded spruce tree, but you know, it is what it is. I've already put a couple of dimensionals on this one, but I forgot to do it on those ones, so let's just grab some of those right now. Just one at the top and one at the bottom, that's fine. Okay. Cool. So the vellum's going to go on there anyway, so I'm just going to put some tape towards the bottom of that so it will get covered up by all our other elements. So just looking there. If you press nice and hard, it kind of mostly disappears unless you're looking really, really hard. Okay. And then we'll pop our trees on. But I'm not going to do my sentiment until I know where everything's going. So it's kind of, I did do it ahead of time on the other one, and then I found myself running out of room to put my gifts under the tree. So I'm going to do the positioning of all this stuff first. Oops. Dimensionals don't want to come off today. Don't normally have trouble with dimensionals. So I want this guy to be kind of on the left there, and that covered all that tape up, so there's no problem there. This guy is going to go here. I'm still too zoomed in, aren't I? Sorry about that. And then we'll pop this one down here, breaking the border, but still got a connection to the rest of the card. And those Wink of Stella little twinklings. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, you could. You've got a little spot there where you could pop a glue dot to help secure that vellum a little bit behind this tree. So I could slot that in there, and then that'll help keep that a little bit more in place. I don't mind a little bit of stuff that kind of peeks out here and there, though. I quite like it. And then we want to do our gifts. So what I didn't want to do was necessarily put them in rainbow order, but I wanted them all there, right? Okay, so like I say, it's up to you now how you want to position these. Okay, so if it's going higher up, I'm putting it behind so it looks like it's further away. You know what I mean? Put that one there. What have we got left? We've got green, orange. Don't want the yellow and the green together. So it just looks a bit funny, a bit too close to get, you know, too close in tone. So I'd like to separate those out a little bit. So let's put, oops, this one towards the middle, and then we'll have an orange and a red one. Okay, so you can really mess about with how you want your gifts to look. I haven't put wink on that one, on those. I wanted a little bit of, you know, separation between all the glitter. We don't need it, we'll need it everywhere, kind of thing. And then, like I say, it's just a case of popping our sentiment in. So I knew we were going to have plenty of room just to get that centered at the bottom. And I'm going to use the shaded spruce, which is the colour that's kind of in the layer on the background. Okay, and I'm just going with this Warm Wishes. Could mix and match these with other sentiments in other stamp sets, of course, but just for the sake of simplicity, I thought it would be good just to keep within the bounds of this very cute stamp set. And that's it. I'll come out another one. Okay, so loads of variation around a theme. Like I say, that one was how it started off, which I thought was, I don't know, the background just spoiled it really, which then led me to this one, and then I used the blue on the background, just using the stamps there is with a few snowflakes in the background. And then this one I've coloured the trees, left out the snowflakes, and left it a bit more clean and simple looking, right? But you can mix match whichever elements you like. So you know, if you don't like the coloured trees, you know, but want something a bit more fussy, then just take the elements that you want out of there and play around with it. So I hope that's you've enjoyed that, and you'll have a go yourself. Love to see what you make, and I'll leave you with that. Thanks ever so much for joining me. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.